Wolf Spider from the G.I. Joe Classified series is a completely brand new G.I. Joe. He has not been seen in the TV show, the movies, or the comics. This is a classified exclusive, and he comes to us from the Night Force subline, which is a Walmart exclusive. So we're going to do what we do with all of our action figures. We're going to unbox this guy, take a look at him, see what I like about him, see what I don't like about him, and offer you my thoughts if this is something that you should track down yourself. One of the interesting things is I see some accessories from the much maligned Falcon figure. We'll see if they do Wolf Spider any better. And here we have Wolf Spider out of the box. This is an interesting figure because immediately what I noticed is his shoulders right here have an extreme butterfly effect that I just haven't seen on other G.I. Joe classified figures. It's going to lend himself to more dynamic posing, and the way that his vest is structured, it shouldn't get in the way too much. But the interesting thing is that while the butterfly joints work really well, the rest of him is pretty stiff. He's been sitting in a box for quite a while. It's not like he's been sitting outside in the cold on a delivery truck or anything like that. There is just some stiffness to the joints that I'm noticing that he could probably use a bath to warm up with, but that's, oh yeah, the legs are just really stiff right there. That is, oh, I'm not going to force any movement on the legs here. It is just so stiff. He needs a fig bath just to warm him up some. What do you say? Let's check out his weapons locker to see what accessories he comes with. This is his backpack, and if you have Falcon from the G.I. Joe Classified line, it's going to look extremely familiar because it's the exact same backpack. He does come with an antenna as well, so you can plug that in so that he now has radio communications. Again, I don't want to force that one because it is such a tight socket there. I might have to warm up the backpack as well. Here's some rope accessory right here. This is soft goods. It's supposed to emulate some paracord, I do believe. It's rather small, but considering that he's a Night Force guy and it looks like he's rappelling from a helicopter or something like that, it makes sense that he has this. There are two mask options here. We have this mask right here. This kind of gives me some Star-Lord vibes. And he has the other more traditional tactical helmet, and he has some night vision or binocular glasses that do attach via a C-clamp on there. So that is something, I think I just put that on backwards. Yeah, I definitely put that on backwards. There we go. That looks a little better there. He can then kind of use that tactical equipment to his advantage. He's got this knife right here. It will fit into his backpack. I believe Falcon had the exact same knife. And same with the shotgun as well. It's got the collapsible stock on top. This part is going to fall off pretty easy. I can already tell you that. And he has just a traditional G.I. Joe sidearm right there. And you know what? Why not? We can just put that in his holster because that part doesn't really need to move right now. But I am curious. Let's put on some of his face mask accessories and see what that looks like. So here is the first one. This is we'll call this one the Star-Lord one. I like the look of this. It looks really cool. It's got kind of a sci-fi, a future soldier kind of look to it. And I think that kind of fits the G.I. Joe Classified aesthetic really well. I know there's a lot of people who like the more classic military look. I like the sci-fi infused, like the future forward-looking kind of accessories, weapon, tactical gear, that kind of stuff. But now we'll put the helmet on because, again, this is just pretty cool. We'll see how well it fits over his head. I'm kind of curious about that. Does this latch or anything like that, or am I just supposed to kind of trust the process? I think I'm just supposed to trust the process here, so we will know. Let's see if we can pop off his head and see if it just fits in that way. Yeah, that's much better. Rather than stretch out the chin strap right here, I just popped off his head and I put on the helmet just like that. And yeah, that is much better. Much better. So now I'm just going to pop and socket the head back on, and he should have his helmet all ready to go. There, that looks so much better, and that's a much easier way to do it. So I'm recommending for you right now, if you get Wolf Spider, pop off the head, put the helmet, or put the head in the helmet, and then put everything back on. Do not try to stretch this chin strap over. I could see that going extremely terribly. Actual design of the helmet looks incredible. The application of the paint on one side, as well as all of the details that stretch all the way to the back, the front, and even the chin strap. So even though we don't get a full unmasked face sculpt of Wolf Spider here, the helmet more than makes up for some of those missing details. As much as I love that helmet, I do like the mask a little bit more. Popping out the head is a little more tricky because it sits in there so well. It's a little more difficult of a task than you normally would think, but ultimately that's a good thing. You don't want it just being too floppy. When I have his accessories in his hand, you can really see that butterfly joint working extremely well here, and it makes it more natural to pose him, which is phenomenal. It's something that we've been looking forward to in G.I. Joe Classified series, and hopefully this is something that continues that trend, because even though many of them do kind of have a butterfly joint, they aren't as flexible as the one on Wolf Spider here, so that's kind of exciting. Let's just see if his backpack fits pretty well. There have been some issues with some backpacks on G.I. Joe Classified figures that just aren't really fitting all that well. I want to see if this is one of them. It seems okay. It's not the best. It's not the worst that I've seen, for sure. And let's see if we can't fit his knife in there. I mean, it's kind of long. It's more of a long dagger, a dirk, right? I think that's what it's called. He does come with a little stretch of cord right here, but it's also a sculpted feature on his backpack. So I'm not quite sure where this goes. Maybe we can just put it in his hand for right now, and this way if he needs to grappling hook, he can do that, I guess. In concept, I love what they're doing with Wolf Spider. It's a completely brand new figure that adds to the G.I. Joe universe. It's making some smart reuse of parts from characters that weren't all that popular, and it's adding a few extra really cool little details and helmets so that it does give it that classified, that little futuristic touch and hint that make G.I. Joe so much fun. The butterfly joints with the shoulders moving in and out so quickly and seamlessly was very nice to work with. But the fact that the lower half of the figure was so stiff that he needed to be warmed up in some water was a little unfortunate. What's interesting about Wolf Spider is that his very first appearance is that in the Night Force series, so this isn't even his traditional or normal kind of commando outfit. We have yet to see what that looks like on just a basic mainline Wolf Spider. So there's some lore to expand within the G.I. Joe realm, specifically targeted on this brand new figure. You know, I would recommend Wolf Spider if you are just into finding a brand new G.I. Joe that isn't tied to any of the comics or any of the TV shows or movies that exist in kind of the G.I. Joe universe. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Night Force version, the very first instance that we got to encounter Wolf Spider in, is different than what they conceptualize as his core outfit, his tactical gear, what have you. I think what works about him is that it's something new, and it fits within the existing G.I. Joe universe of making smart use of existing parts to create a brand new figure. And if you enjoyed going over this brand new G.I. Joe figure, Wolf Spider, let me know in the comment section. That about does it for today. Thank you so much for watching.